The ring it was a warm Saturday afternoon when John decided to visit the old flea market on the edge of town. He wasn't looking for anything special, maybe a used book or some old coins. Just something to kill time. The market was full of strange smells, noisy people, and forgotten items covered in dust. John walked past stalls with broken toys, old clothes, rusty tools, and cracked paintings. Nothing caught his eye, until he saw a small table with a red cloth. An old man with silver hair and dark sunglasses sat behind it. He didn't shout like the other sellers. He just watched. On the table were only a few items. One of them was a silver ring with a strange blue stone. The ring looked ancient but still shiny, like it was waiting for someone. "How much for the ring?" John asked, pointing to it. The old man smiled slightly. "It's not about money," he said. "It chooses its owner." John laughed. "Come on. I just want to buy it." The old man nodded. "Give me $5 and it's yours." John handed him the money and picked up the ring. As soon as his fingers touched it, the stone in the middle glowed softly. A chill ran down his spine. "Weird," he whispered. "It likes you," the old man said, then leaned back in his chair. "Take good care of her." "Her?" John asked, but the man didn't answer. He just closed his eyes like he was done talking. John put the ring in his pocket and left the market. The glow had stopped, and he told himself it was just a trick of the light. Maybe the stone had a small battery inside or something. That night at home, John took the ring out and looked at it again. He felt a strange pull, like the ring wanted him to wear it. He slipped it onto his right hand. At first, nothing happened. He looked at himself in the mirror and chuckled. "Looks cool," he said. But then he heard it, a soft whisper. Not from the room, but from inside his mind. "Finally. I have found you." John jumped back. "What the hell?" He pulled at the ring, trying to take it off. But it wouldn't move. It felt like part of his skin now. "Who's there?" he said out loud. "Is this a prank?" No answer, just silence. He went to bed early, feeling tired and confused. Maybe he was just imagining things. Maybe it was stress. But in the middle of the night, he woke up to a strange light in his room. It wasn't from the window or his lamp. It was coming from the ring. And then, everything changed. The walls around him faded. His bed disappeared. The floor turned white and smooth like glass. He was standing in the middle of a glowing, silent room with no windows or doors. John turned in circles. "What is this? Where am I?" The voice came again, stronger this time. "You are safe. I have brought you here, my chosen." John froze. "Chosen for what? Who are you?" A shape appeared in front of him, soft blue light forming the image of a tall woman in armor. Her eyes were bright gold. Her hair floated like it was underwater. She didn't look human. "I am Ilaria, Queen of the Vylari. My spirit was locked inside this ring thousands of your years ago. Now the bond is complete. You are mine." John took a step back. "Wait, what do you mean I'm yours? I just bought a ring. I didn't sign up for this." "You were chosen by fate. The ring calls to only one soul across time." You answered, "Our bond cannot be broken now." "This is crazy," John said. "I'm just a normal guy. I don't want to be part of some space thing." Ilaria's image grew clearer. "Your world is no longer safe. They will come for you. For the ring. You must be ready." "Who's coming?" he asked. But before she could answer, the light vanished. The room turned dark. John found himself back in his bedroom, breathing hard, heart racing. He looked at the ring. It was glowing again, faint but steady. He tried again to remove it, but it didn't move. Then a knock came at the door. Not a normal knock, slow, loud, like someone or something very big was standing outside. John's hand shook. He whispered, "This isn't happening." But it was. The ring had chosen him, and whatever it was hiding was just beginning. The voice. In the ring, John didn't sleep the rest of the night. He sat on his bed staring at the ring glowing softly on his finger. Outside, the knock had stopped, but something told him it wasn't over. He stayed up until the first light of morning touched the sky. The world outside looked normal. Cars passed, birds sang, children played on the street, but nothing felt normal anymore. He kept checking his door. Nothing was broken. No one was outside. Maybe he had imagined the knock. Maybe it was just a dream. But the ring was still glowing. John walked to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. His face looked pale, tired, different. And the ring, its blue stone pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Suddenly his vision blurred. The mirror melted away. The world shifted again. He was no longer in his bathroom. He was floating in a giant dark space filled with stars. "No, not again," he whispered. A voice answered. Not loud, not soft, but deep, ancient, powerful. "You are not dreaming, John Carter. You are in the mind realm." John turned. The blue figure of Ilaria, the alien queen, floated near him. "How do you know my name?" he asked. "I know everything about you. The ring connects us now. Your thoughts, your memories, your fears. I see them all." John felt a chill run down his spine. "What do you want from me?" Ilaria's golden eyes glowed brighter. "I do not want. The bond has already chosen. You are now my consort, the one soul who can unlock my return." "Return? From what?" Ilaria's expression darkened. "A war. Long ago. My enemies destroyed my body but could not destroy my spirit. They trapped me in the ring, hidden on your primitive world. I have waited, in silence, for centuries, until you came. Why me? Because the ring chose you. It only answers to a soul strong enough to bear the crown, and your kind humans are stronger than they know." John shook his head. "No. I'm just a guy with a small job, a small apartment, and no life. I'm not a hero." "You will be," she said. Before John could reply, the stars around them twisted, and then he saw something. A dark shadow in the void. A creature with red eyes, sharp wings, and a mouth full of teeth. It growled, and the sound echoed inside John's skull. "They are close," Ilaria warned. "The Veildrox, my ancient enemy. They sense the ring has awakened. They will come for you now." The stars vanished. John snapped back to the real world, gasping, drenched in sweat, sitting on the cold bathroom floor. The ring was hot now, burning, but still stuck on his finger. Suddenly his phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated, then picked up. A woman's voice spoke, sharp and calm. "Mr. John Carter, listen very carefully. Your life is in danger. They are coming. Do not go outside. Do not speak to anyone. And whatever happens, do not remove the ring." "Who are you?" he asked. "A friend. Check your window." John ran to the living room and pulled back the curtain. A black car was parked across the street. A tall man, in a gray coat, stood beside it. He was looking directly at John's window. He raised a hand slowly and pointed. At John. "Is that you?" John asked into the phone. "No," said the voice. "He is one of them." The man outside opened his mouth, and John saw rows of needle-like teeth. The man's eyes turned pure. Black John dropped the phone. Suddenly, the walls of his house began to shake. The lights flickered. Outside, the air shimmered like heat waves. Something was coming. "Run," said Ilaria's voice inside his mind. "Where?" John shouted, but the ring acted before he could. A blue light burst from it, wrapping around him like a bubble. He floated for a second, then disappeared in a flash. He landed hard on cold stone. It was a dark cave, glowing with strange symbols on the walls. "What is this place?" he asked. Ilaria appeared again, brighter this time. "This is the sanctuary, a safe house built long ago. You must stay hidden. They will search. They always do. I can't live like this. I didn't ask for this." "No one asks to be chosen," she said. "But the galaxy does not wait for permission. It only survives when someone stands up." John looked down at the ring. "I don't even know how to use this thing." Ilaria smiled. You will learn, and you must, because soon you will not just be running from them, you will be fighting them. John looked up. Then teach me. The blue flame of the ring flared high, and somewhere far above, beyond the stars, the Veildrock screamed. They had found his scent. The hunt had begun. Visitors from the Sky Knight had fallen again. John sat alone inside the hidden sanctuary, a cold, dark cave glowing with alien symbols. It had no doors, no windows, no way to tell if it was still Earth or somewhere else. He hadn't eaten. He hadn't slept. The only thing that felt alive was the ring glowing on his hand. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Thump, 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 but it wasn't just the ring. The ground shook, softly at first, then stronger. John stood, heart racing. What now? The glowing symbols on the walls began to dim, one by one. They've found you, Ilaria said inside his head. They're here. But how? This place is hidden. Not anymore. You activated the ring too early. It left a trail of light in the mind realm. And they always follow the light. John's breath froze. Above, the ceiling of the cave cracked. Dust fell like snow. Then, boom. A flash of red light tore through the roof. A figure dropped into the cave. Tall, armored, not human. Its skin was like stone, eyes like burning coals, and in its chest a glowing red symbol. The same shape as John's ring. Give it to me. The creature growled. Now! John backed away. Who? What are you? Veildrox, the creature said. You wear the ring of our enemy. You are now marked for death. John raised his hand. The ring glowed. The Veildrox laughed. You don't even know how to use it. Then teach me, John whispered. The creature moved. Fast. It rushed at John, claws outroaring. John lifted his hand without thinking, and a wall of blue energy exploded from the ring, throwing the Veildrox across the cave like a rag doll. John stared in shock. I did that? Yes, Ilaria said. And you'll do more. But only if you survive. The Veildrox stood again, angrier now. Your shield won't save you forever. The cave shook again, louder, stronger. But this time, it wasn't the Veildrox. John turned. A hole opened in the far wall of the cave. From it came a blinding white light. Another figure stepped through, not a monster this time, but a woman, tall and glowing with armor made of silver light. Queen Ilaria sends her protector, she said. Step away from the human, the Veildrox hissed. You are too late, Vailari scum. They charged at each other, red versus white. Blades appeared from their arms, made of pure energy. Their battle shook the cave with fire and lightning. John ducked behind a rock. This is insane, Ilaria's voice came again. Listen to me. There is no time. The ring is more than a weapon. It is a key. You must activate the full bond. How? John shouted. Let go of fear. Open your mind to mine. Say these words. Vael, Noratreya. John stood up, raised his hand, and shouted. Vael Noratreya. The ring burned bright. A beam of blue light shot up from it, blasting through the ceiling and into the night sky. Outside, far above Earth, something stirred. 3 alien ships, hidden behind the clouds, turned toward the signal. They began to descend. Meanwhile, inside the cave, the battle had ended. The Veildrox lay in pieces. The silver-armored woman helped John to his feet. You've activated the beacon, she said. Others will come. Some to protect you. Most to destroy you. Great, John muttered. No pressure. You are no longer just human, Ilaria said. You are now the ring-bearer, the one who can awaken the lost army of Vailari. Wait, army? What army? Trapped. Hidden across your world, sleeping. Only the ring can find them, and only you can lead them. Lead? I can't even survive one fight. The woman placed a hand on his shoulder. You will, but you must leave now. The sky is no longer safe. Suddenly, a thunderous sound echoed outside. John ran to the cave's edge. The sky above was on fire. 3 massive alien ships, black and red, hovered over the forest. Lights scanned the ground. Creatures dropped from them like meteors. John's quiet little town would soon become a war zone. He looked at the ring. "You brought them here," he said. "No," Ilaria whispered. "They were always coming. The ring just gave you the power to see what's been hiding. So what now?" John asked. "Now," she said, "you fight back." The screen of stars above cracked with the arrival of something bigger, a shadow larger than the alien ships. A dark figure stood inside it, watching Earth, and it whispered just one word: "Queen." John didn't know what it was, but he knew this: Earth would never be the same again. Bonded forever, the forest burned. Red fire lit up the night sky as alien ships hovered above John's town. Homes that once held quiet lives now stood in flames. Strange shadows moved across the streets, creatures not born on Earth. John watched from the top of a nearby hill, hidden behind a shield of blue light created by the ring. Beside him stood the silver-armored protector sent by Queen Ilaria. "Your planet is no longer safe," she said. John didn't speak. He couldn't. He had just seen his world fall apart in one night. Neighbors running, screaming, people taken. The sky no longer looked like home. He looked at the ring. "Why me?" he asked softly. The woman turned to him. "You are not just a man now. You are bonded. To the queen, to the crown, to an ancient war that never ended." John stared at her. "What does that even mean? Bonded how? I didn't agree to anything." The ring pulsed and then it pulled him. A bright light exploded from the stone and the world vanished. John blinked. He stood in a vast hall made of silver crystal. Floating above him was a crown made of blue flame. Around him, ghostly images, memories, not his own. A great war, a queen betrayed, a forbidden bond formed across galaxies, and then he saw her, Ilaria. Not a ghost this time, not a hologram, but real. She stood before him, glowing with quiet power. Her golden eyes locked onto his. Her voice, when it came, was soft but carried centuries of pain. "You must understand, John. The ring is not a tool. It is a vow." "A vow?" he asked. "Yes. The ring was created by my people for one purpose: to bind 2 souls, one of my kind and one of yours." "Why?" "Because only through that bond can peace return. War destroyed my world. My body was lost. But my spirit lived inside the ring, waiting for one who could complete the vow." John shook his head. "But why me? I'm not brave. I'm not special." Ilaria stepped closer. "You are human. And humans carry a gift no other species does: free will, courage, chaos, and love. That is why the ring chose your kind. That is why it chose you." John swallowed. "What kind of bond is this exactly?" Ilaria looked down. When she spoke again, her voice trembled. "Marriage." John blinked. "What?" "In the eyes of the ancient Vylari law, once the ring is worn, the bond is sealed. You are now my consort, my partner, and my key to returning." John laughed once, short and sharp. "I didn't even get a wedding invite." "I never asked for this either," Ilaria said. "But the galaxy doesn't care what we want. It only cares what we are willing to become." John turned away. Outside the Hall of Memory, fire still fell from the sky. People were dying. Creatures hunted the streets. He clenched his fists. "So what now? You're a queen without a body. I'm a guy with a ring. We're married. And the galaxy is burning. What do we do?" Ilaria raised her hand. From her palm, light poured into the ring. The glow spread through John's veins, filling his chest with warmth and power. Now, she said, we rise together. Suddenly, John felt everything. He saw maps of stars in his mind. He heard voices speaking in alien tongues, pleading, warning, praying. He saw a hidden chamber deep beneath the ocean, where the Queen's original body floated in stasis, waiting to be awakened. You're not dead, he whispered. You're asleep. And only the ring-bearer can wake me, Illyria said. Only you can bring me back. But just as John reached toward her, everything shook. The hall shattered like glass. John fell. He landed back on Earth, coughing. The protector stood over him, blood on her face. They've breached the shield, she said. We have to move. Behind her, the sky split. A new ship appeared, 10 times larger than the others. It was black as night, shaped like a blade, and inside it, something ancient stirred. The hunter, the protector whispered. They've sent him. Who is he? John asked. The one who killed the Queen. The ground cracked. From the center of the forest, a figure rose. He wore armor made of bones. No face, just a black void, and in his hand, another ring. Red, burning. Illaria's voice screamed in John's mind. He is the unbound, the false consort, the one who betrayed me. If he takes your ring, he will control both. John stared at the creature as it stepped forward. It raised its hand, so did John. The two rings pulsed, blue versus red, and the sky exploded with light. The hidden world. The world didn't feel like Earth anymore. John stood on the edge of a broken cliff, staring at the burning sky. Alien ships hovered like vultures. Cities were no longer safe. People had vanished. The old life was gone. The only thing that hadn't changed was the ring on his finger. Except it had changed him. He could feel it now, pulling him, whispering, guiding him toward something buried, something old. The protector, still weak from the last fight, walked beside him. There's no time to rest, she said. You activated the second pulse. Now the hidden world will answer. What hidden world? John asked. Beneath your oceans, inside your mountains, buried beneath your deserts, are temples, she said, left behind by the Vailari before the fall, places of memory and power. Only a bonded soul can open them. John touched the ring. It was glowing brighter than ever, and it was pointing somewhere. South. They traveled for hours, through ruined roads and forests half burned by alien fire. The sky crackled with distant thunder, not from storms, but from machines too large for human eyes to understand. Finally, they reached a place that looked forgotten by time, a mountain with no name, no path, no life, and in the side of the rock, a door of light shaped like a ring. This is it, John whispered. He stepped forward. As his hand touched the door, it opened silently. Stone slid away like mist. Inside was a tunnel that spiraled down, deeper than the earth should go. No sound, no heat, only a heavy silence. They walked for what felt like hours, and then the sanctuary opened, a massive underground chamber lit by glowing blue orbs floating in the air. Alien symbols danced along the walls like fireflies. In the center stood a platform made of crystal, and around it, 7 stone thrones, empty, but not lifeless. What is this place? John asked. This was the chamber of the first bond-bearers, the protector said. Before the Queen, before the war. Each throne belonged to one who carried a ring. John looked at them. There were others? Yes, she said. But they are gone now, lost, killed, or worse, turned. John walked toward the thrones. The ring on his finger flared and a ghostly light appeared on one of the seats. A man, human, just like him. He looked scared, tired, his eyes full of warning. You must leave, the ghost said. You must not. Trust them all. John stepped back. Who are you? The first, the ghost replied. I wore the ring before you. I saw the truth. The Queen's enemies are not the only danger. Even among the Vailari, there are secrets they keep from you. Like what? The ghost leaned forward. There is a third ring. John froze. But Ilaria never said. She doesn't know, the ghost said. Or maybe she forgot. Time does strange things to spirits trapped in metal. But I found it once, long ago, hidden deep beneath the frozen sea. And what I saw should have stayed buried. John looked at the protector, but she said nothing. He turned back to the ghost. Where is it now? Gone. Stolen. By one of the thrones, the ghost said. And if the wrong hands find it, this war will end all worlds. Suddenly the chamber trembled. The protector drew her blade. They've found us again. John felt it too. The presence of something dark above. Drilling down through the rock. The unbound, the one who held the red ring, was coming. Ilaria's voice echoed in his head. Do not let them breach the chamber. If they touch the thrones, the old power will rise again. John stepped onto the crystal platform. Symbols lit up beneath his feet. The ring glowed so bright he had to cover his eyes. The thrones responded, each one lit up with blue fire. The ghost faded with one last whisper. Wake them. The bond bearers. The hidden world must rise again. John raised his hand. Light burst, from the ring shooting into the air, carving shapes in the walls, maps, names, doors. Then the chamber exploded with sound. Machines roared above, rocks shattered. And into the sacred hall dropped a black figure with a burning red ring. The unbound. He smiled beneath his bone mask. Too late, boy. The thrones were never yours. John faced him, heart pounding. The protector stood beside him, and Ilaria's voice filled the chamber with power. This is not the end. This is the test. Only one ring will remain. The red and blue rings blazed against each other, and the mountain began to collapse. War of the rings. The mountain was falling apart. Rocks rained from above. The glowing sanctuary trembled. Dust and fire filled the air. But even as the chamber shook, two lights remained unshaken, red and blue. John stood on one side of the crystal platform, the blue ring on his hand shining like a star. On the other side stood the unbound. A tall, shadowy figure in bone armor, red flames crawling up his arms. You should have stayed hidden, boy, the unbound growled. The queen lies. Her time is over. The era of the Vailari is dead. John didn't move. His mind burned with Ilaria's voice. Don't listen to him. His ring is a false creation, twisted, stolen, corrupted. But the unbound laughed. Is that what she told you? She didn't tell you the truth about me, about the third ring. Did she? John frowned. What do you mean? Ask her, the unbound said, stepping forward. Ask her who I was before I became this. John felt a jolt of energy ripple through his ring. For the first time, Ilaria hesitated. He was one of us, she finally said. He was my first. John's heart skipped a beat. What? My first bond, she said quietly. Before the fall, before the war. But he betrayed the vow. He used the ring to destroy, not to protect. And when he was cast out, he made another ring. Red. Soaked in death. The unbound's voice cracked with rage. You left me in the void. Locked me away like I was nothing. I loved you once, Queen. And now I will burn everything you love. John's hand trembled. This wasn't just war. This was revenge. Personal. Ancient. Dangerous. And now, he was caught in the middle. The unbound raised his hand, and red lightning crackled from his ring, tearing across the chamber. John blocked it with a blue shield, but the force knocked him backward. The thrones shattered. The protector screamed, thrown into the wall. I have more power than you could dream of, the unbound said. Your ring is a relic. Mine is evolution. John stood bleeding, shaking, but he didn't run. Maybe, he said, but you're alone, and I'm not. He opened his mind. The ring responded. Images poured in. Memories, voices, strength, bond-bearers of the past. Ghostly figures appeared around John. Warriors, scholars, leaders, all once chosen by the ring. "You carry our fire," they whispered. "Use it." The crystal platform rose from the floor, lifting John into the air. Blue fire burst from his chest, forming armor around him. Light, silver, alive. A new symbol glowed on his forehead. The sigil of the living bond. The unbound hissed, "You think a light show will stop me?" He leapt forward. They clashed in midair, blue versus red, light versus shadow. Each blow sent shockwaves through the mountain. Energy cracked the walls. The protector crawled to cover, shielding her eyes from the storm of power. Ilaria's voice guided John through the chaos. He feeds on anger, on loss. You must stay calm, focused. Let the ring lead your heart, not your fear. But John could feel the rage growing inside him. The Unbound knew things he didn't. Ilaria had kept secrets, and most of all, he was tired of running. They fought across the chamber, crashing into broken thrones, flying through shattered pillars, trading blasts of energy that burned the very air. "Give it to me," the Unbound roared. "Never," John shouted. Then, just for a moment, the Unbound hesitated. His mask cracked, and John saw his face. Not a monster, a man, human, broken, tears in his eyes. "I didn't want this," he said softly. "I just wanted her back." John lowered his hand. The ring dimmed. Ilaria whispered, "John, be careful." But it was too late. The Unbound struck with full force. Red lightning exploding from his ring and blasting John straight through the ceiling. He shot into the night sky like a falling star. John crashed into the forest deep in the valley below. Trees shattered, the ground split, and the blue ring flickered. But it did not die. John opened his eyes. Above him, the Unbound hovered in the air, his red ring pulsing like a heartbeat of fire. "You're not strong enough," he said. John stood, blood on his face, pain in every bone. But behind his eyes, something new burned. Not power, not hate. Purpose. "I don't need to be strong," he said. He raised his hand. From the forest, from the hills, from the skies. Rings began to glow. 6 others, 6 hidden bond-bearers who had felt the signal. They came. Not ghosts, real, living, chosen. Each with a different light. Green, gold, white, violet, silver, blue. John looked up at the Unbound. "I'm not alone anymore." The ring glowed. Ilaria's voice echoed across the sky. "This is not the end. This is the rise. The War of the Rings has begun," and the stars above began to move. The alien queen's consort, the sky was torn. From deep space, golden portals opened across the stars. Giant circles of fire spinning above Earth. And through them came ships, not like the warships of the Veildrox. These were elegant, curved, ancient, alive. The Galactic Council had arrived. For the first time in thousands of years, the old powers had returned. John stood in the center of a wide stone arena floating above the planet, held together by light and gravity. Around him were hundreds of beings, aliens of every shape, race, and world. Tall, short, glowing, invisible, mechanical, a gathering of galactic judgment, and they were all staring at him. The Protector stood silently at his side, armored and watchful. The other 6 bond-bearers stood behind him now, each still glowing, with their ring's unique color. But this moment, this trial, was his alone. From above, a massive throne of crystal descended, and sitting on it was a tall being made of starlight and shadow, the Speaker of the Council. His voice echoed like thunder and wind. "John Carter of Earth, you are called to answer for the awakening of the Queen, the destruction of the seal, the return of the rings, and the war that has shaken 1,000 worlds." John stepped forward. "I didn't start it, but I won't run from it. The speaker nodded. You carry the bond of Ilaria Vile, the lost queen. Do you claim the title of consort? John hesitated. Memories hit him all at once. His normal life, the flea market, the strange ring, the voice in his head, the burning skies, the unbound's face behind the mask, the fire, the betrayal, the power, and Ilaria, her voice, her eyes, her pain, her strength. Yes, John said. I do. A ripple passed through the arena. Then you must pass the final test, said the speaker. If you are truly bonded to the queen, then only you can return her to life. John's heart stopped. What? The speaker raised his hand, and a beam of golden light opened a portal. Inside it floated a crystal pod, and inside that pod was her, Queen Ilaria. Silent, still, unmoving. John stepped forward, breath shaking. I thought she was already alive. Only her mind, said the protector. Her body was hidden, protected by the council. If you fail here, she is lost forever. The pod opened. A beam of light surrounded John and Ilaria's body. His ring glowed with painful light. The final bond. Beginning, images burst into his mind. Memories of Ilaria's life, her kingdom, her betrayal, the war, the heartbreak. And then her hope. Him. The bond began to burn. His body trembled. This wasn't just magic or technology. This was love, responsibility, surrender, and it demanded everything. John fell to his knees. His skin cracked with energy. I don't know if I'm enough, he whispered. You are, said her voice, weak but clear. Ilaria opened her eyes, golden, alive. The arena gasped. The crystal shattered. John collapsed, and she caught him. Queen Ilaria, reborn, stood tall before the council. He is mine, she said, and I am his. But the trial was not over. A voice boomed from behind the stars. You have no right. A final portal ripped open. The unbound returned, broken, burned, but alive. He floated forward, red ring pulsing wildly. This is not your throne, he screamed. She was mine. He threw a final blast of red fire toward Ilaria. John stood, barely, and stepped in front of her. The blue ring ignited one last time. The two rings collided, red and blue, but this time, they didn't fight. They merged. The energy turned white. The red ring shattered. The unbound fell to his knees, screaming as his power faded into dust. Then silence. John turned to Ilaria, weak and barely standing. Is it over? He asked. She nodded. Yes, for now. The council stood. The speaker raised his hand. The bond has been proven. The queen has returned, and the consort has passed. The rings will be restored, and the age of light will begin again. The crowd erupted in 1,000 alien voices, songs, cheers, roars, but John didn't hear them. His eyes were locked on her. And then the speaker asked one final question. John Carter, will you return to your world, or take the crown beside her? He turned to look at Earth, small, quiet, scarred, but still his home. And then to her, powerful, immortal, alone. Until now. John smiled, tired and free. I think it's time to see the stars. He took her hand. Together they rose, into the sky. A man from Earth, a queen from the stars, bound forever. And the galaxy watched as a new age began.